It's time to get buzzed. Howard Bender, aka Roto Buzz Guy, is here to help you get through Thursday on Getting Buzzed. And now, please welcome to the virtual stage, Mr. Howard Bender.
The Jets?
Yeah, they're going to beat the Patriots.
The Jets, Larry? You come into this house and bring up the Jets? Do you know how much disappointment I have had to live with from the Jets?
You've lived with disappointment? Are you serious?
Yeah,
You know what
Larry?
this team has done to me? I haven't enjoyed a football season since 1969. Maybe 98 when Parcells was the coach for a year.
Get out of here.
That was good too. But that's it.
Not the first time I've ever been compared to Larry David. Probably won't be the last. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Thanks for joining me here on Getting Buzzed. I'm Howard Bender, and you know there's a smile on the face, but it's like one of those awkward smiles, you know, when you're trying not to smile in an awkward situation, but you just can't help yourself. Yeah, that's what's going on here right now. This whole NFL season has just gone. Help me. You know, like that's what this football season has already come down to here. And listen, Jets fans unite. This is why we can't have nice things. This is exactly what I was afraid of what was going to happen. I don't even want to say that I predicted it, but maybe my negative energy kind of help push things out a little bit. We're going to talk about the New York Jets here today, and not with relevance to fantasy football, barely relevance to betting. I think this really comes down to what it feels like to be a Jets fan. What you think you might know as being a Jets fan? No, it's what it is like being a Jets fan. You might think you might be able to feel like that. Detroit Lions fans out there, ooh, Buffalo Bills, you lose 4 Super Bowls in a row, ooh. It is nothing. The Jets have taken this to an art form, all right? And I'll get into that in a sec. I do want to let you guys know that I've got a great show planned for you. We have a great show planned for you. My illustrious producer, Adam Bernard, we're going to bring in Adam in a little bit here to talk about the Jets because you know what? Adam understands. Adam is a long-suffering Jets fan as well. But just to show you that it's not all going to be doom and gloom and ranting and raving about this pathetic franchise, we are going to have a little bit of fun today. I'm bringing in one of our favorite people. You guys know him in the fantasy football community all over the place. His name is Scott Phish. And he's going to be joining us. We're going to play a little game with Scott. We're going to be talking about him, how everything got started for him, as well as, you know, the Scott Phish Bowl, updates to that, because that's now in full swing. How do you donate to help out with the Fantasy Cares initiative here run by Scott Phish? We've got all of that coming up. And then we've got a juicy Final Five for you guys. I was in Las Vegas. Adam and I were in Las Vegas this past weekend, and we were flying back together. So our Final Five is related to all of that. But let's talk Jets here. Let's talk about just how pathetic it is, you know, being a Jets fan, because again, I don't mean to have put this out there, but I did. I said I was, see, look, that's kind of what I look like. That was me on Monday night. Now, for those of you out there who sent me texts, doing wellness checks, making sure I was all right, even just a message being like, oh, sorry, bro, real tough way to start this. Like all of that stuff. Listen, I get it. You care about me. You love me. Love me less. I don't need your sympathy texts. I don't need you to check up on me. I'm not going to do anything stupid because it's football, people. It's football. This isn't life. We're not worried about, you know, what's going to happen here. Did I lose a couple of bets on Monday Night Football? Sure. No problem. Did it depress me? Not as much as just losing my QB depressed me. So I didn't need your text. I don't want your text. And so please, if something bad happens to the Jets, just leave me be. Just let me have my time. Let me have my moments and let me just absorb and digest what we've got going on here. Oh, my friend Rich McEwen hanging out in the chat says, try being a Rangers. Oh, stop it. Just stop it, Richard. I don't want to hear about that. Don't bring your baseball into my Jets world here. It's just not going to happen. I'm really sorry that you lost Max Scherzer, by the way. Kind of, sort of, maybe not really. In any event, listen, here's the problem with being the Jets fan, and the reason that it gets so like ridiculous here is I was born in 1970, the year after the New York Jets won the Super Bowl. So I didn't even see the Super Bowl. Well, I wasn't even around for it. I was like a little sea monkey rolling around in my mama's womb. That's what I was doing during the Super Bowl. That's what I was doing when Joe Namath went to Lucifer and said, I'd like to sell my soul for a Super Bowl championship. And you know what? The devil was like, no problem, Joe. We got you. Tell you what, though, Jets will never, ever win another game, another Super Bowl in your lifetime, though. Like, as long as you are on this planet, on this plane, it's not going to happen. And Joe was like, I'm cool with that. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Jets win the Super Bowl, and then it's just been miserable since. I remember going, with a buddy of mine to Denver for the 1998 AFC Championship game. You had Denver against the Jets. There was hope. There was excitement. The Jets were winning at halftime. And then they ended up crumbling and losing to the Denver Broncos. And that was the sad state of affairs in 1998. 1999, we all had hope. We all had dreams. We all had excitement. We all had everything going for us until Vinny Testaverde, our starting quarterback, went down with what? An Achilles injury? Yeah, that's what happened. Stick a fork in us for 99. We done. We gone. And it's just been doom and gloom ever since. So, this year, I was excited. I was okay. I was fine. Jets going to go, we're going to do it. Yeah, there it is. I chugged the Kool-Aid. And I'm going to blame Lisa Ann for this. If you guys have missed my show with Lisa Ann, just check that out on Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel and Better Sports Network YouTube channel as well. But she got me to watch Hard Knocks. She got me to drink the Kool-Aid. I had like the green juice mustache that you see like on a 5-year-old kid. I was drinking the Kool-Aid so heavily. I was loving on Aaron Rodgers. I was loving on his persona. You brought Liv Schreiber into the team and watching him, Rodgers react with him, watching Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson together, just bathing in the Jets Kool-Aid. And then this happens. And I mean, it has just been an absolute nightmare. Look at that. The Aaron Rodgers era for gangrene. Thanks a lot, Adam. Appreciate this. 4 offensive snaps, does not complete a pass, 11 minutes of real time, 1 awesome intro tunnel run. It was definitely awesome. And there we go. We are in the stages of grief. We are in depression right now. I don't even know if Zach Wilson taking the field in week 2 is where we're going to find our acceptance of this. This is going to be a tough 12 stages of grief to kind of push us through here. It really is. It really, Adam, get out in here. Get in here, man. Cause I mean, all right, listen, like you and I, we sat there, we hung out in Oh, is that an applause? Is that applause for Adam Bernard? Did I not?
Subdued applause. We're not like in the best of, it's a little bit of a somber mood here today.
No, it's not somber.
But right now it is, right?
Salty and sarcastic.
We'll say that.
Okay.
We'll say that.
Well, I mean, you tell me. Give me set it up for me. Adam Bernard sitting there, Monday Night Football. You're in front of the TV. You've probably sent the wife and the daughter out of the room, or maybe they're there watching it with you, and you have to censor yourself. But give me the play-by-play of what happened to you when this happened.
So my daughter was actually homesick from school that day, so not a big deal. Kids get the sniffles, you can't send them in. And it actually worked in my favor because I didn't have to pick her up from school. And with game kicking off at 5 o'clock local on the West Coast, worked right in my favor. Gave her the iPad, sat down in the recliner, was ready to actually watch the game. You know, we had leftovers for dinner, so it was easy to just throw that, like, all set up, all really just getting set for like the first game of what's hopefully going to be a fun ride. And then I didn't think anything after the sack. And then when I saw him like standing there staring at the sideline, and then I saw him sit down, and I know some people are like, oh, maybe he was meditating. The second I saw him sit down, I said, oh no, Aaron Rodgers does not just sit on the turf in the first quarter of a game. He's not picking up grass because it's fake grass, it's turf. So when that happened, I was like, oh. And I'm like, all right, just don't bring him back. You know, don't rush him back. If this is like an ankle thing, don't tape him. Let him have his. And then you see the close-up where you see the Achilles just retract like somebody snapped a blind cord. And it's like, well, that's that.
Yeah. Probably one of the grosser videos I've seen, even though you didn't like actually see the skin, you just saw the inside his calf. I was like, that was just gross.
Didn't gross me out, but like you just know at that point, like, yep, that's not something he's taping up and coming back out week 2 or week 3. Like, nope.
No. And now where are we? I mean, yeah, did we win the game against Buffalo? Absolutely. Was that a historic moment for us? I don't really know if it's a historic moment for us, but it was a really nice way to kind of, push it aside and see. I'm okay with Rodgers. I mean, you tell me, Adam. I'm okay with Rodgers standing on the sidelines. What I want from him now, you want to earn your money, Aaron. I want him with a direct ability to, to talk to Zach Wilson during games. I want him to really coach up Zach Wilson. Be the quarterback coach. Don't let Nathaniel Hackett call the plays and do whatever. Let Rodgers be the QB coach and really take Zach Wilson under his wing and guide him through this season. That's what I'd like. I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
I'm not going to cramp Aaron Rodgers' lifestyle by any imagination here, and I'm going to go to another sport for a minute. Sidney Crosby's rookie year, who did he live with? Mario Lemieux. Who did Austin Matthews live with his rookie year? It's in Toronto. Was it Tavares or was it? No, it wasn't Tavares. It was Thornton. I thought it was somebody like that.
Let's just say it was Wendell Clark. If you're going to give a historic hockey player from Toronto, give somebody that people know.
But the point being is, I'm not saying Zach Wilson needs to move in with Aaron Rodgers, but along those lines, Zach and Aaron should be texting or Snapchatting or whatever the kids do nowadays, 14-year-old girls. They should be talking all the time. The last person that Zach Wilson should talk to before he goes to bed is Aaron Rodgers, and the first person he should talk to in the morning is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the thing is, I think Aaron was really rejuvenated. Everything, his clashes with the media and stuff towards the end of his time in Green Bay, that was completely behind it. That was a completely clean slate. He came to New York. He's going to Ranger games one night, Taylor Swift concerts the next night. Training camp comes. He's right down to work. He's immediately bonding with Sauce Gardner. They got their smoke him if you got him handshake. You could see the bromance between him and Garrett Wilson that was developing. And
why are you're telling me exactly what's the ingredients of the Kool-Aid right now? The poison Kool-Aid.
The trick is right now the mentality has to be, and I think Saleh and this team has that, is the season's not over. We are 1-0. We've got 16 games to go here. Yes, it's a tough AFC. Nobody's got any delusional thoughts, but there's no reason to go in the tank right now. Zach Wilson, listen, a backup quarterback has to be prepared to come into a game. I don't think there's a backup quarterback that's prepared to come into a game 4 plays into a season. The playbook was not for him last night. The plan was not set for him. Now let's see what Nathaniel Hackett can do with him. And you just got to let's just wait and see, because what's the other option?
I don't know. There is no other option. That's the thing. You play through the season, and that's the way it is. The odds that we've got posted right there, just showing you the before and after damage for that. And you know what? Listen, I'm not gonna. I would love to see. Of course, I would love to see Zach Wilson be the new Trent Dilfer. And it's don't lose the game for us, kid. Let the defense do its job, and maybe that's what kind of helps us out a little bit. I'd like to see that. You're going to have to forgive me for not having any optimism here at all. I think really where we're at right now here, Adam, is kind of figuring out where Aaron Rodgers tearing his Achilles falls into the top 5 worst moments in Jets history. But before we even figure out where that is, I believe you've got a video that actually sums up the Jets in a beautiful, beautiful fashion here.
Yeah, let's just get this over with. You know, if you live in the New York tri-state area, if you give 10-10 wins, 22 minutes, they give you the world. Here on Getting Buzzed, you give us 90 seconds. We're going to give you all the Jets on-field misery in one video clip. Let's check it out. AJ Dewey here. I wasn't alive for this, but I left a part of a clip in that really just magnifies how awful this was.
When I was in front of the TV watching this game, tears dripping down my face.
Now listen to Dick Enberg here.
It's hard to believe AJ Dewey in 6 years in the NFL has only 2 interceptions. He has 3 today, and that one for a touchdown.
Yeah, there you go. Now here's the first time in my life that I felt being a Jet fan. The first time I got nice hugs and twisted.
The infamous fake spike.
Now, my dad is not one of these guys to let a game affect him always, but like it was definitely like a few days later, he's like, why wouldn't he just run with him and cover him? Like saying it under his breath. Like, play to the whistle. Now, the one, an aforementioned Achilles injury.
Yep, here we go. Vinny going down. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Just like Aaron Rodgers. Just like, oh.
He was in more pain, apparently.
Yeah, I guess. Oh.
I can't take credit for the soundtrack on this. It was too good to happen.
That's depressing.
And then, of course,
after spending 3 years with the Rams, the former first-round pick of the Bears.
There it is. That's the Aaron Rodgers era right there.
And scene. Yeah. See, that was just, I mean, it was terrible. All right. So where does this now rank with all of the other ones? What were the 5 that we had going before? Do you have that list for us here?
I do. Let's pull that back up on the screen. So the 2 that are likely to get bumped here is either Geno Smith getting sucker punched or Susie Colbert, Joe Namath. I vote to boot out Joe Namath, Susie Colbert. Yeah, it wasn't a great moment, but, you know, he is the one, like, beacon of light in this franchise's history at this point. Like, maybe we should lay off him.
How is a guy who sold his soul to the devil and caused us to never win a Super Bowl again while he's alive, how is that a beacon of light? Because
it's the one Super Bowl victory is what separates us from the Lions and Texans of the world and other teams. So
fine.
That needs to stay.
All right.
So we didn't include Vinny Testaverde. I'd be willing to just punt both him and Geno Smith, and the video is the top 5 right there. Rodgers, I'd probably put below the butt fumble, or maybe even below Testaverde, because I mean we don't know what would have happened this year, but man, the Jets looked like they were going to go back to the AFC Championship and maybe the Super Bowl that following.
It looked like we were going somewhere. All right, I'm fine putting back-to-back Achilles injuries here. Left and right. Look at that. Yeah, again, a portrait of a Jets fan as shown at MetLife Stadium. So absolute nightmare. So gross. So depressing. And Adam's out of here, right? He's like, oh, let me come up with like a clever video and see what happens here. And now I'm just gonna leave Bender alone by himself. So I mean, listen, man, this is it's a very, very depressing thing. I'm gonna turn things around here right now. Again, let me remind you, if something bad happens to the Jets, don't text me. If you want to just check up on me because you love me so much, love me less. All right, done with the Jets talk here. It gives me great pleasure to bring in our guest today here on Getting Buzzed, one of my absolute favorite human beings of all time, easily crushing it in the fantasy football industry. Ladies and gentlemen, bring it in here for my man, Scott Phish. Oh, the studio audience loves
What's this?
you
Applause?
so much.
Applause? You don't want to talk about your undefeated Jets anymore? That's
No, I don't. Wait a minute.
Hey.
Refresh my memory here. Vikings fan or Packers fan?
Vikings fan, so I feel like I can relate quite a bit. Like, of our 4 sports, we haven't had a championship in 32 years. I mean, the Vikings have had 4 NFC championships in my life, and they're like 38-7, 42 donut, a 49ers loss, and then the Bounty Gate Saints one where we should have won. Like we've had some stuff. I feel you, man. Some years we get hope like you guys had for the Jets. and it ends in destruction. It's I get it.
And you've had historic Viking stuff before you were born also, right? The Purple People Eaters, you weren't around for that.
Yep, their last Super Bowl loss was what, 1 year and 8 months before I was born. So I missed out on all of that.
Well, I don't know. Do you feel okay missing out on that? I mean, we got a game tonight. We can talk about the game tonight. I mean, I'm going to be chilling out in the Bettercast app tonight over at Fantasy Alarm and Better Sports Network. That's where I would be chilling, watching this game. I've had a real tough time with a read on this game. So, I mean, I might as well just come to you and find out what kind of blind hope you might have with your team. Eagles, 6.5-point favorites. Vikings with a heartbreaking loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 1.
Yeah, I'll take the 6.5. I'll take the 6.5 on that and take the Eagles by 7 tonight. It's funny that we got a Monday night last year in week 2 against the Eagles. Now we get a Thursday night in week 2 against the Eagles in Philadelphia for both of them. I don't think Minnesota is there yet as a team. I think the Eagles are going to bounce back. I know they won by 5 last, but it was a little rougher than you would have expected for how talented that team is. But the Vikings, man, they looked rough. They look like they need to gel. They're going to be missing 2 starting offensive linemen, and Darrisaw and Bradbury are 2 best offensive linemen. It's going to be rough. Kirk's going to see pressure all day long.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. And yeah, the offensive line issues for Minnesota is definitely something I was citing. You've also got that Justin Jefferson, Darius Slay matchup where Slay has kind of gotten the better of him in the last couple of meetings. So, very interesting situation here. But I didn't bring you in here to handicap that game because you know what? Handicapping a Thursday night football game this early in the season can be one of the more depressing things to do, especially if your team is on that underdog side. I wanted to bring you in here for just so many reasons. I mean, listen, put put your humility aside for a little bit because you're so loved in the community. You really are loved in the community. And so for my audience here, I kind of wanted to do like a get to know you Scott Fish sort of a thing because you got their followers on Twitter, social media there. Everybody knows about the Scott Fish Bowl, but I love I love your origin story in the industry more than anything. So, let's go back in time here.
Oh boy.
And talk about Scott Fish Bowl and how it all kind of got underway for you.
Sure. So I started in the industry right around 2003 to 2005 area. I started posting on message boards and stuff, and I started writing start, sit, and waiver wire articles, probably 05. And then 2007, the aught sevens, I believe we can call them now. Can we call them the aughts? Is that how that works?
You might be able to.
Yeah, started this fantasy football oasis thing. A couple of years into that, we started this fantasy football oasis invitational where we wanted to get analysts from around the industry to play with our readers and listeners. Did a couple of years of that, took a year off, then came back, thought I had something. My site was done, so I needed a new name. And Twitter basically told me the Fishbowl, but fishbowl.com, .net, .org, all those were taken. So it became the Scott Fish Bowl, and it stuck. I've never loved the name, but let me tell you, it was great for branding. Having my name in that thing. But yeah, we've just grown it over the years, added a charitable component at one time, really doubled down on that, tripled, quadrupled down on that. And it's become this giant event where we've been able to raise a ton of money for charities. And I've spoken on, I'm taking so much time here, but I've spoken on shows and radio spots and everything for years to add a charitable element to your league. And I feel like we've finally gotten to the point where we've almost accomplished that. I feel like a lot of leagues are doing that now, and it's a wonderful thing to see. And I hope that keeps growing.
Now, what I mean, was it, pressure from outsiders to bring in that charitable aspect? Was it just an altruistic thing from you? Like, I mean, all right, I know the story. So because you and I are friends and we've talked a bunch about this already, but I mean, for those watching right now, because I think that this really hits home. I think it really does hit home.
Yeah. So I feel like my wife and I have always been charitable people. We donate to tons and tons of charities, and many years ago, I started helping a friend with a Toys for Tots drive in the industry, and then at 35, I had a heart attack. And when something like that happens to you, and I, this isn't a part I've told a lot, but that night I had that heart attack. I was 35. A 24-year-old with 3 kids came in the same night, same heart attack, same night. He ended up dying the next day, and I lived. And I think something like that really jumpstarts you into realizing, okay, I want to be the best possible version of me I can be, not just for me, but for my kids. I want to be a role model for my kids. I have a little bit of a platform. I want to use my platform for good. I don't want to just, go along in my routine. I want people to see me as this best possible version of myself. I want to be that person. And I think years and years of just trying to be that person, you just start to become the person you wanted to be. And hopefully it leads to other people seeing that, wanting to do good with whatever platform they have. But really that was a moment for me. That was a watershed moment where you have something like that happen and you realize you might not be here anymore. And you just want to do good out there with whatever precious moments we have left.
Which I think it's obviously it's a life-changing moment for you, and you can turn around and and say, this is what I was and this is what I want to be. Yeah, I think we're all naturally evolving towards what we know that we should be. Not so much what we want to be, but we know what we should be. And I think that you found your place in this industry, because you're fantasy football, it's a game, and and people are throwing money around on it, and they're betting, and they're doing all of that. Just the aspect of not forgetting that this is a game that we are playing, and you do have to find some sort of a charitable aspect that really kind of helps blossom that. And I mean, the example that you set for your son, right? I mean, your kids, the example that you set for them, I mean, that's huge. And I know that I mean, you and I have talked about, Ian wanting to jump in and doing basically what you're doing exactly.
Right.
And we talked about the Ian Phish Bowl. I mean, the impact of that. I mean, I just think it's so beautiful and so lasting, because you're passing this down, not just to your son, but you're passing this down to younger fantasy analysts and younger people in this industry on the regular. I mean, how many leagues do you do now that all have a charitable aspect? I think tons
all of them. Yeah, all of them. I mean, obviously SFB, but every single league I'm in has some sort of charitable element. Every single one.
Yeah, as it should. Yeah, as it should. I love it, man. I really do love it. So, but now, health-wise, I assume you are totally fine right now. No?
Absolutely good. I didn't
Great.
even need a stent. I 100% recovered. Healthy as you can be for, I guess, a 43-year-old man that could stand to lose a few pounds.
Oh, don't even start with me, right? That's like how do you have a heart attack at 35 and a fat ass like me who, doesn't exercise a day in his life and eats garbage, last?
I agree. In fact, when I had the heart attack, I had 5 cardiologists for the first day because they were trying to figure out how, you've seen me. I'm not in the best shape, but I'm not in, you would expect a heart attack shape. So at 35, they did not see that coming.
It's the universe turning around being like, Scott, we need you to start doing this way. And
you know what? That may very well be exactly what it is. Sometimes the universe just says, hey, you need a kickstart. Here you go.
Now, the Scott Phish Bowl, dealing with all of that, I mean, how many teams are there? How many people are you dealing with on the regular, the drafts, the slow drafts, organizing all of that? That's got to put some stress on you, though. It's got to put some wear and tear on you.
It is. We have 277 divisions of 12 teams. So that's 3,324 teams this year. Just over half fans. I mean, there's a lot of content creators, but well over half are just regular fans. Like some of them not even on Twitter, some of them with 10 followers. It doesn't matter. We don't care about any of that stuff when it comes to Fishbowl. We just want passionate, fun people who want to have a good time and do something for a good cause. But honestly, we've gotten to the point with the Fishbowl where it's all my team. It's not like I do what I do and I organize and I lead and I do a lot of work, but I have a full team of people supporting this whole thing. We got people making avatars. We got people making amazing logo designs and t-shirt and merchandise. And we got people helping on the back end on Sleeper and MFL. And we have just a giant support group that just keeps this thing running smoothly. It's very ducks on the water though. Like it looks smooth from the top, but we're paddling our feet pretty quick underneath to keep this thing going well.
Now, all right, so we've seen, I'm looking at some of the stats and the numbers here, and you guys, there's a QR code right there on the screen. If you want to donate to fantasycares.org and help support the work that Scott does, to help support the work that everybody in the industry does, zap that QR code and make a donation here. It says you've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for charity for worthwhile causes. Obviously, what the work that you do. Last year it was like pick your own charity. This year we're on Toys for Tots again. How much have we raised here now so far for this year?
So we do still want to support lots and lots of charities, lots of local charities, especially with the live events. In fact, I probably need to talk to you, Howard, about San Francisco and that one. I feel like because you raised some money in San Francisco for that live event, and we should get that to the charity you guys want to. But
I think I already sent that over to fantasycares.org, baby.
I know. Okay, I was gonna say because Fantasy Cares can donate to maybe Norsled. Like you have a lot of great charities you support.
Thank you.
So yeah, we donate to lots of charities. That's how we're organized, that we can donate to any 501c3 charity. But this year, I believe with the Underdog Satellite Tournament $50,000 donation, I think we went over. I'm fairly positive we went over to 200,000 on the year so far.
That's
like 220 something, I believe.
If your kids are watching, put some earmuffs on them, because I'm just gonna say that's fucking amazing, dude.
It's amazing.
It's
incredible.
Absolutely amazing. That makes me so happy to hear. So happy to hear. Now, talk to me here, because you're taking this to another level. You and I have had this discussion here. Ian, your son Ian, wants to get involved. We've talked about, is it the Ian Fish Guppy Bowl? Is it just going to be the Ian Fish Bowl? We've talked fathers and sons and stuff like that. Like, what's the next step for us here, Scott? Because I'm 100% in no matter what.
Yeah, I honestly don't know where the next step for Fishbowl is. I have a few ideas. I already know next year's theme. But as far as Ian's going,
is that a surprise? Wait, are you giving me like breaking news nugget here for next year's theme? Or are you just teasing me?
Am I losing you? I think I lost your audio.
Uh-oh. What happened? I'm here. Adam Bernard, our illustrious producer. Do we have audio here? Are we good? He hears everybody. Scott, can you hear me?
I lost your audio, man.
Uh-oh.
I can come out and come back in if you want.
Maybe
you want to nod to that? Okay. I lost your audio, so I couldn't hear your question.
All right, we're going to see what happens here when Scott leaves and comes back, because I need to know what we're going on. Did he just tease us with something, or are we looking at like potential breaking news right here with like a little secret Easter egg? I don't know if he's going to want to reveal that kind of information, but man, if we get that kind of a little so-and-so from him, I would be right. Britt Flynn's in the chat there. What a cliffhanger. Indeed. While I wait for Scott Fish, let me remind you guys that tonight I'm going to be in the Bettercast app watching tonight's Philadelphia Eagles Minnesota Vikings game. You can download the app for free at bettercast.app, BETTORCAST.app, and get it in there. Oh, look. Oh, guess who's back? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you now. Now, why can't I hear Scott? Is Scott on mute or something?
How about now? Can I hear you now? There we go. All right, we're good. I have no idea what happened, but we're good now. So
All right.
So,
Well, you
yes.
teased that you already know the theme for next year.
I do.
Are we going to get some sort of like breaking news here? Are we going to get a hint, or are you just going to keep this as like a cliffhanger?
I cliffhanger is a great hint. Yeah, it's
Stallone movie.
Yeah, so that would be great. Stallone movies, wouldn't that be great?
I want to be in the Rocky IV division.
I love it. No, it's I guess the only hint is we've kind of touched on it in the past, but this year we're going a slightly different angle of something we've touched on in the past. We're to that point where we're going to start repeating, or we're going to have to figure out, creative ways to do it. But the Ian Phish Bowl, just to touch on that, yeah, we did it. We decided to start that for him. It's only 3 leagues this year, a bunch of parents and kids. Ian wanted desperately to draft the Dallas Cowboys defense, and he let me talk him out of it. And he has been so mad at me all week. Because it was like the 3rd to last round. He's like, I love the Cowboys defense. I want I'm like, you can get them in the next round. And he didn't get them in the next round. And he lost to them this week.
He lost to them?
To them in week 1.
Oh my
His opponent had him. So it hasn't been a good week in this household, but that's what it is.
Like, as a parent, how do you cope with that? Do you bring him to the store? Do you buy him something?
Yeah.
Do you up the allowance for a week? Like, how do you come back from that?
That's I might have to buy him a video game or something. I don't know. I feel terrible.
Well, all right. Well, sorry. So, wow, Scott Phish Bowl theme dangling in front of us here. Possible Easter egg.
Yeah.
Ian Phish Bowl. Are we calling it the Ian Phish Bowl?
We couldn't figure out a better name for it. So it's kind of like the Scott Phish Bowl. It's just kind of stuck. It's just, we were going to have some kind of cool kid's name for it, and we just never thought of one. So it's each of them on Sleeper called IFB 1, 2, and 3 or whatever. They're Ian Phish Bowl, I guess, for now. We'll see if we change it.
All right. Well, for those of you out there who have kids who are doing the fantasy game also, this is the perfect time. Give Scott a follow on Twitter at ScottFish24. And I'm sure that you're going to have, I know on scottfishbowl.com, you've got the ability to register for next year's Scott Phish Bowl.
Yep.
Do you have a site set up already to register possibly for the Ian Phish Bowl next year?
I don't, but that is a great idea, Howard. I am not on top of that yet, but that's it. It's not a bad idea.
Oh, I think it's a fantastic idea. Come on, man. I'm here for you. Because you know what? I'll tell you what. I don't have kids of my own. I would I love running the live drafts in San Francisco for the Scott Phish Bowl.
Yeah.
My teams always suffer. I will say this. My teams turn into complete dog crap, but I have the best time. And I meet so many amazing people, and it's just been fantastic. I would love to host an Ian Phish Bowl live draft here in San Francisco. Right? Do the whole thing up, the fathers, the sons, and then just be able to MC the entire thing. Like that would be fun.
That would be incredible. Wow. I have to write this down. As soon as I'm off the show, I'm going to write this down. This is an interesting
If
idea.
you need to get a pen and paper right now, you can do that. But you've got
good.
the verbal commitment from me here.
You'll help me remember. I have a good memory.
I'll do my best. All right. Well, Scott, I love the fact that you joined us here now. This is not your normal fantasy show, fantasy football show, sports show. I like to have a little fun here.
Yeah.
So can we play a game, Scott? You and me?
We're gonna play a game, and this is possibly the best game we could possibly play.
This is without a doubt my absolute favorite game that we're gonna play here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Is It Phish or Phish with Scott Phish. Now, Scott, points are awarded based on speed of answer as well as accuracy. What we're going to do here, my illustrious producer, Adam Bernard, is going to play a clip of a song, and you're going to have to tell me, because I know that you're not a Phish guy, like the band Phish.
Not only that, and I am afraid I'm putting our very long friendship on the brink. I am not certain I've ever heard a Phish song.
That does not listen, the fact that you don't know just makes me want to go to Minnesota the next time they're there and bring you to a show.
Yeah, I can't even, like, in my head, I can't even visualize what they sound like as a band. That's
All right.
how little I know about Phish.
Well, then here we go. So we're going to start you off here. You just have to say that this is Phish or this is about Phish. All right?
Okay. Got it.
All right. So Adam, clip number 1.
I mean, that's about Phish. Oh, I realize I gotta do speed now. Yeah, that's clearly Jaws.
Okay. Good. Correct answer there. I'll give you 10 points for that one. It would have been more if you like hit it immediately.
I had it immediately. I just didn't realize I needed to speed up.
I told you speed is a part of this.
I know. Gotta get it.
Focus up, man. Come on. Here we go. Clip number 2.
I'm gonna go with that's Phish.
That is correct. And that is worth 50 points for the speed. That's called Carini. And that's actually my walk-up music if I were a professional baseball player.
Okay.
All right. So right now, here we go. Clip number 3.
No, that's about Phish. That's actually nitty gritty dirt band, Fishing in the Dark or whatever. But that's my walk-up music on another show.
Is it really?
Yeah. They changed all the words to be about me and stuff, and it's yeah. Yep, it's good. Now,
Wow.
if I was a baseball player, my walk-up song would probably be Sabotage, Beastie Boys, right around the bridge when it comes out with the screaming. That's probably what I'd want.
Let me tell you, Scott, the moment that I was at the Phish show when they busted out a cover of Sabotage, the whole place erupted. It was so amazing. I think it was summer of 98 was when that happened. It was crazy. All right. So listen, that one right there, speed, that's 250 points. You caught that like within the first note or two.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to wait for the sappy chorus. Impressive. All right. Next clip, please.
We are flying.
That's Phish.
We're flying.
Yeah. Look at you. Wave of hope. Damn. Good speed there, too. 200 points for you on that one.
200 points. I feel like you're just making these points up on the spot.
I very well might be. Nevertheless, next clip.
How beautiful do the words
I'm gonna go with that's Phish too. Dang it.
Sorry, Scott. That was Prince with Dolphin. Now, how
you think I'd get Prince, right?
In Minnesota? I thought that was an easy one for you.
I don't think I've heard that song.
Scott Fish, you are awarded no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
There you go. Of course.
Next clip, please.
Phish. No? Oh man.
Nope. I mean, that was the title track to the 70s movie The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Wow. That is not a movie I'm aware exists. In fact, I think you might be making it up right now. That's insane to me.
Google it. I'm telling you, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. It's the story of an astrologer and a young child who befriend this basketball team, and again, it's all about they bring like all these Pisces together in order to make that happen.
Okay.
So another donut for you here. Suddenly your point total is going down. Prizes are in jeopardy, Scott. I don't know what you're going to do. Next clip, please.
That's Phish. Come on.
Yes, that is Phish. I thought I was going to get you there with like a little 2001 theme, but I did not. You were pretty quick about that. I'll give you 175 for that one there. Wasn't as quick as the first one, but here we go. Next clip, please.
That's
Barracuda from Heart. Absolutely.
Yep.
We had fun pulling these clips for you. All right, so you were pretty quick on that one there too as well. I'll give you 180 points for that one. Pretty darn quick. Not bad. Do we have another clip? Let's go.
Let's go with that's about Phish. Dang it. Oh man, I thought that might be Phish right.
Right. Well, he was just about to say the purple humpback whales in the lyric to Bathtub Gin by Phish.
Okay.
No points against Scott. Wow. Listen, we're throwing you here for a loop. You've been pretty good about this. I'm not going to lie. I think we got one more. I'll tell you what, if you get this last
falling
one,
off at the end,
1,000 points, and your prize will be revealed right afterwards. If you get this one right, let it play. No speed involved here.
Okay.
What do we got?
That's Phish.
Scott Phish, you get 1,000 points for that one there. That's called The Wedge. It is by Phish. And let me tell you something, buddy. Your prize today is my love and admiration. Not that you didn't have it already, but now I'm also going to be taking you to your next, to your first Phish show one day when they play in Minnesota.
Very nice. Very nice. That'll be fun. And for a special bonus for you, Howard, I just forwarded you that walk up nitty gritty dirt band version of my walk up music.
Oh, I'm blasting that sucker out on Twitter. Absolutely. I can't wait to listen to that. Oh, I'm stoked. That is fantastic. Well, Scott, give a shout out to everybody. Tell them where they can find, anything to get involved and, how to help out with Scott Fishbowl and everything like that. Anything that you need, want, care to promote, the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, just fantasycares.org. If you feel like adding a charitable element to your league, convince your league, hey, let's take one entry fee and let's donate it to this place, or really any charity, because it doesn't even have to be mine. I don't, just do some good with it. Try to get your league to do some good with this fantastic hobby of ours.
I love it. I love it. Scott, thank you so much, dude. I mean, listen, I could sit here and I could talk to you for hours, but I'm sure you've got other stuff that you're going to have to do.
Oh, I don't. I'll stay on. It's cool. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
What do you want to talk about then?
Let's talk about the Jets.
Oh, man.
I'm just kidding, man.
How sad was that? I mean, come on. I mean,
it really was. I think I've told you my son's second favorite team is the Jets. He loves Sauce. He loves Garrett Wilson. Like, he was excited too. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'll text you I'll text you how sorry I am, because I know how much you love that.
It's the love me less texts. That's what it comes down to. Yes, it was absolutely brutal. I had no idea that Ian was such a big Jets fan. I mean, have you guys been watching Hard Knocks?
Yep, we went to the Jets Vikings game when they were in town last year. Watched Berrios drop it in the end zone to finalize that game. Yeah, it's sorry, man. No, yeah, he's a big Jets fan. Yeah, second favorite team.
I love it. I love it. All right, well, Ian, you and me, buddy. I'm telling you, man, right there for the New York Jets. Scott, well, thank you again, man. Seriously, man, really appreciate you joining us here, and as always, continue to be amazing.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Scott Phish, everybody, give him that follow on Twitter at ScottFish24 and make sure that you get involved. It's just really, I mean, I can't stress enough about getting involved. I really can't, because the work that Scott does, and yeah, we're got it up here on the board again. It is just absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, you know what? Let your home league do something like that. If you guys, everybody puts in $100, take 10% off the top of the winnings there and just donate it to the winner's favorite charity. I think that's probably, to me, that's one of the best things that you can do. Yeah, of course, we all want like the little extra cash, but think about just how far that goes with that. I mean, listen, we've talked to Eric Romoff, my good friend who runs the Pros with Joe's charity leagues, and that, we donate, I raise money for Norsled every year. So find the charity that, it's right for you. It's right for your family. And it doesn't even have to be a huge amount of money. Just any little bit will always go a long way. I promise you that. I definitely promise you that. Other things before we get to today's final five, I just want to jump in here. And again, I was talking about this when Scott was going in and coming back out. The BetterCast app. We've got that going on over at the Better Sports Network, and Fantasy Alarm's a part of that. BETTOR CAST.app. All right. That's where you want to be hanging out with us. They've got a chat. And the best part about that is also there are pre-game questions to answer, and then there are in-game questions to answer. Everything's free. The download is free. To win prizes, you just need to get tickets. If you win, you get tickets. And when you get tickets, you can redeem those for autographed sports memorabilia, things like that. You want to be able to, if you want to have a little fun, chat it up during the games, plus get a chance to win some free stuff. I mean, who doesn't love free stuff? So bettercast.app. Make sure you go and you check that out. It is absolutely amazing. And then, of course, if I'm going to plug something as well, I will plug the Fantasy Alarm All-Pro subscription as well. It's right there at the bottom. Go to fantasyalarm.com/win. All right, take it for a free 7-day trial, and win some money playing DFS this weekend. And use that to just let your subscription pay for itself. I guarantee you. We crushed it last week. And I've already seen all the content rolling out. Britt Flynn with her weekly, her weekly matchup report. John Impemba with the quarterback coach. Andrew Cooper with the yin yang tight end. Everything that we've got over at fantasyalarm.com, it's huge. And it's going to help you win your championships in season long. It's going to make you a better DFS player. So fantasyalarm.com/win. is what you want to do, and just sign up. Take it for a free 7-day trial. Well, we're running out of time here on the show, so I want to wrap things up with our final five, but I got to bring in Adam Bernard for this one here as well, because Adam, this was you and this was me on the plane going from Vegas. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm on a very strict diet. When I am not at home, sometimes I cheat. And Adam, you were a terrible influence on me. You were like, oh, let's get out of this place. Let's go over to this place.
So we wrapped up our FFPC broadcast on Saturday. We had a few hours to kill before the flight. So, you can get into trouble in Vegas if you hang around the casino. So we said, let's go eat. And we found a place to have like a bar and a drink. And then I saw like a real sports bar across the way. So let's go there. And of course, I mean, college football games and all the TVs and everything. And the menu was just fantastic. And we're going home. It was a Saturday night flight, and we decided to fill up.
Much to the chagrin of our stewardess and our fellow passengers on the plane. So here we go. The 5 worst foods to eat before boarding a flight, but you'll do it anyway. Coming in at number 5, Adam, I believe you were the one who was like, I got to lock down some potato skins here. Loaded potato skins. I love the fact that it's not just the grease, but then you're mixing some dairy in there for you with the sour cream.
So you got the dairy with the cheese and the sour cream. You got the chives. You got the bacon. You got a lot of things going on. Potato skins are probably my all-time favorite bar app. I'm a potato guy. I could eat potatoes as part of 3 meals a day, and I would never tire of it. So, sure. Yeah, but I mean, that's not really a great combo GI wise for pre-flight, and that's going to be a reoccurring theme here throughout these.
All right, coming in at number 4. It fits with the theme of the show here, but anything fishy. Anything fishy. Now, I don't eat any seafood, Adam, so you talk to me here, man. You got calamari coming out your butt. What do you got going on?
So, fun fact, I'm not really a big seafood guy either. Fried calamari is the one I will eat, but the reason that we say anything fishy here is nobody wants to sit next to somebody with fish breath. So, maybe pass on the tuna or the salmon. We're in confined spaces. The air is being recycled. I don't need that, even if it's a short flight. I definitely don't want it for a cross-country flight. So I love fried calamari, but save the fish for when you can not be on a plane.
Now, number 3, this was my doing here. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm all about this. Big old plate of nachos. Now, Adam insisted on putting a protein in there, so we had shredded chicken on our nachos. But, man, it's the sour cream drizzle. It's the cheese. It's the taco meat, the beans, everything like that. And the poor son of a bitch sitting next to me on the plane just had to endure, my lean every so often there. Just a little lean.
I actually held it together for most of the flight. I mean, there was a woman sitting next to me that didn't deserve that sort of treatment. So I just, I bared and grinned as best I could for most of the way home, and I did okay. You got to relieve some pressure, but not too much.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was like kind of sitting up a little bit, kind of stretching, because this next thing we actually didn't order. I don't even know why we didn't order these. We should have ordered these. Nothing gluts up your system like some good old jalapeno poppers.
So back to the dairy thing here with the cheese, but now you're introducing jalapenos, which can also be a part of the nachos, and you're really just like poking the bear in terms of like the whole digestive process at this point. And so, I mean, I love a good jalapeno popper, but probably not. And maybe it causes indigestion the other way, and now you're suffering with like acid reflux or something like that. Just not a good idea. Just not a good idea.
Just not a good idea. Well, let me ask you this one here, Adam. Do you have a preference, cheddar cheese or cream cheese filled jalapeno poppers?
I'm gonna go cheddar pretty much every time. I change a pace for cream cheese once in a while, but cheddar 99% of the time.
I feel like if you're really, if you want to do everybody in on the plane, then you got to go with like the cream cheese jalapeno poppers. There's just something about hot cream cheese that really just, gets the rumbly bumblies going for you.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Without a doubt.
And Adam, would you like to reveal the number one thing that you'll eat but you shouldn't eat before boarding a flight?
Again, the reoccurring theme here with, we don't need to keep going down that path. But number one, I mean, chili anything. What's just, chili dogs, chili fries, a bowl of chili. Like, just don't eat. Like, I love a good bowl of chili. Listen, on a cold winter day, nothing warms you up like a nice bowl of hot chili. But, I can't advise eating that before a plane for all the reasons you're probably thinking.
Yeah. Well, beans, the magical fruit. Absolutely. You got to get that in there. Fortunately for the fellow passengers, the flight was like an hour and 10 minutes. Like we didn't even
Vegas to San Francisco, super short.
It was in, it was out, just like what happened. Although I will say this, on the ride home, my wife was not too pleased. So she was happy to have me home, but that's it.
I will say this, walking to get the bags and then walking to the train to go to long-term parking, being behind me was downwind was just because I was off the plane, and now you have like freedom to just do what you got to do at that point. So if you were behind me, I apologize. It's Saturday night in SFO about 10 o'clock. I'm sorry.
Lugging these big boxes behind them. Unbelievable. That's our final five for tonight. If you've got a final five suggestion you'd like to hear, hit me up on Twitter at RotoBuzzGuy, and I'll be happy to jump in on that. This one here, this was a great combined effort here from me and Adam Bernard, and that's going to do it for us here today on Getting Buzzed. Again, huge thanks to Scott Phish for joining us and playing along with Is This Fish or Fish with Scott Phish, and Sad Sack Jets fans. Hang in there. Doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. It will be, but it doesn't always have to be. But we'll just see what happens there. That's going to do it for us here on Getting Buzzed. I'm Howard Bender. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Like and subscribe on that Fantasy Alarm YouTube page. Smash that button there, baby. We'll catch you next time.